Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Transitions for More. I'm your host, Mike Urko, Marine Corps veteran. I've returned from Iraq and faced the challenges of PTSD, addiction, and grief to create a new life that is balanced and healthy in mind, body, and spirit. Each episode, I'll share some of my journey or interview inspiring veterans and subject matter experts to help us find that purpose and connection we all crave. You guys can follow the show on Instagram at Transitions for More. Join our TFW page on Facebook, Twitter, and transitionsformore.com. If you have any questions, comments, or topic ideas, feel free to email me at mike@transitionsformore.com. If you guys enjoy the show, please leave us a rating and review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Without any more dilly-dally, let's get to the interview. Recording in progress. Well, we got that going, man. Anyways, everyone, welcome back to Transitions for More. I'm your host, Mike, and I got my co-host, Rich. What's going on, Rich?
What's up, Mike? Just living the life in the gray and dark Estonia.
Well, I am living the life in sunny California, much different. And but together we produce this podcast and make it happen, man. So good to be back with you.
Good to be back with you.
Yeah, glad we got this going.
Yeah, me too. Me too, definitely. And I can't wait until I can get back to California or maybe even Minnesota. It still wouldn't be as dark as this.
Yeah.
For the record.
Yeah. Before we get too far off into what time does it get dark and weather talk? Let's just say it's been pretty nice out here, and I've been taking advantage of it. For those of you who follow our Instagram account, you probably see nothing but pictures over the last couple of months of me pulling up crabs out of the ocean. So that's pretty much what I've been up to. What about yourself, man?
That's awesome. I've been hiding from the darkness. No, I don't know, dude. I've been a lazy piece of shit. I told you that before. But I don't know, this time of year, it's between like sun and snow. And snow kind of brightens things up, believe it or not. Yeah. And so it's just, I even heard from an Estonian woman who was just like, yeah, this is the worst time of year. Like a lot of times it's raining and it's right close to where it should be snowing.
Yeah.
And it's not. And then, the days trim like a lot faster than what I'm used to. So it'd be like 6 minutes difference every day. But that being said, I see people out with their workout clothes on, and I trained last winter. So I should be out at least like taking my kid for walks or something, but I haven't been. So maybe that's something I'll put on my to-do list.
Yeah, that's on my list for very soon as well. Actually, I have not worked out like at all in the last month and a half, like not once.
You've been out, right? Like you've been going outside. Like I'm saying I've been sitting in front of a TV. Like I got this TV, sucks me in, play Assassin's Creed, Odyssey, and be like, wouldn't it be cool to live in Greece in 400 BC so I could catch the plague? That kind of shit.
Yeah. No, I will. Yeah, you're right, man. I have been getting that vitamin D, getting outside. Or for me, working out, I know I needed a break from it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I talked about this last time. Ideally, I would have just done some strength workouts and some light aerobic stuff, light cardio, but excuse me. What I have been doing instead is just nothing. Just a few sets of push-ups here and there, but that's been a few sets over the last month and a half. So I really translates like a few sets a day. Not like a few sets a day, man. Yeah.
It happens, dude. It happens. That I don't know. That reminds me of what we were talking about before we came on, which is like, yeah, I was kind of told not to go out and train hard because I have high blood pressure, and until we get it in check or down to normal levels, the doctor told me that I could cause damage to the heart if I just like hop on my bike and start training. Maybe she doesn't understand that what I meant by zone 2, but like, that was the medical advice, which still doesn't preclude me from like walking.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, exactly.
or like you were
Yeah.
doing some push-ups,
Yeah, some low level stuff, man. Low level stuff to get the
Yeah.
blood flowing, do things to decrease your blood pressure for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it's hard when the days are a lot shorter and you're not getting that light. I think that hits a lot of us. I'm convinced I would not do very well in places like Washington State, where it's gray a lot more. Um, I need the sunlight, or I'm used to it at least.
Yeah. I think that was it's gotten better for me since, I've been out here a few years, but the cold just it doesn't bother me because I'm from Minnesota. Like I understand the mental
Yeah,
aspect
yeah.
of like being cold. And I was like, did I ever tell you about the t-shirt thing in high school?
No,
Oh God. I thought I was like a mini Wim Hof when I was a kid.
yeah,
And I really wanted to so I would go to the school bus in the morning in a t-shirt and then just wait out there and be like, no, man, I'm tough. And of course I had this because I wanted to join the Marines at a young age. I had this USMC shirt on and I'm just like out there with my arms crossed. My arms are turning blue, like little twiggy teenager arms. People were like, dude, I didn't realize it now. I would, if I saw me back then and I was like a guidance counselor, I'd be like, can that dude's parents not afford a coat or what?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, so I didn't mind the cold, but when it came to this, the darkness, I mean, all right, so sun has set and it's 4 o'clock here,
Yeah,
1600.
yeah,
And this is not as bad as it gets. We got a month more, you know?
yeah. So you were saying you use that sad light, the
Yeah. Yeah. I bought one the first year I was out here. And actually, when I was really on top of my stuff, I kind of had it set at the bottom of my bed. And when I woke up in the morning, I would do my meditation laying down and then essentially kind of put some books and keep the sad light stuck on the desk and
uh-huh.
then lay under it, turn it on, and then do my 20 minutes of meditation and soak in the light. It
Yeah,
worked.
that's a good way to wake up for sure. Yeah. And sad, is that I'm pretty sure seasonal affective disorder? Is that what it's
Yep, it
okay.
is. And I actually don't know if this thing has vitamin D production or what. I do know that it basically just blasts you with a ton of light, just the brightness metric. I don't know, whatever the
Yeah.
light equivalent of a decibel is, this thing just hits you with it really hard. And it makes you think that you've seen sunlight. I don't know if it actually has the vitamin D biological reaction. They do recommend that you have vitamin D supplements out here for sure.
Yeah, I can see that. I
Yeah.
can see that for sure.
But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It just messes with the circadian rhythm a little bit. I think it makes you want to sleep in later, go to bed earlier,
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
But
Yeah.
um, but once the snow comes out, then you get double the sunlight,
Right.
because it's
The
or I guess
reflection.
maybe not double, because yeah, but it's pretty close. And so that actually makes it nicer, oddly enough.
You do anything for Marine Corps birthday or Veterans Day?
I hate to admit this, but all right, so I had a workshop that I had to be at on Thursday, which was Veterans Day, and Wednesday, like there's only one other American that I really talk to out here. He's in my
Uh-huh.
research group. And he's the only one who understands the significance of the Marine Corps birthday. And maybe it's because I threw some memes at him of
Yeah.
people screaming, it's the Marine Corps birthday. It's the Marine Corps birthday. It's the Marine Corps birthday. And no one else giving a fuck.
Yeah.
So we met up and I had to do shit with my kid and stuff. And my wife was understanding. So we went to this pub that's Soviet as fuck,
Yeah.
just super Soviet pub it used to be a few blocks from my house. Now it's half a mile or something. And I just had a bunch of whiskey and then listened to I found a Spotify Marine Corps birthday playlist and listened to that.
Nice.
And then showed my kids some YouTube videos of boot camp. This is why you shouldn't join, buddy. And my wife is just oh God, she's the Soviet military. Her dad was he retired as a major in the Belarusian military.
Wow.
But he was he was Soviet, and when the
Yeah.
Soviet Union fell apart, they were just like, hey, it doesn't matter if you're like Russian and Ukrainian born in Ukraine. Like, congratulations, you're stationed in Belarus. You're Belarusian now. Join their
Wow.
military.
Wow.
So there just wasn't that same kind of, like, I don't think they have, no, there's just, they get forced to do these tank parades and crap.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like the Hoorah Marine Corps that you get every year on the Marine Corps birthday. There's just
Yeah.
not.
It's pretty, the esprit de corps and motivation level is pretty high with that stuff. That's for
It
sure.
is. Yeah. What did you do for it?
Dude, I did nothing for the Marine Corps birthday other than talk to a few Marines at work and wish them a summerlicious day. And then,
Semperlicious.
oh yeah.
I like that.
Oh yeah. Veterans Day, federal holiday. So I had the day off and I went crab snaring with a good friend. And just enjoy the day. In years past, I've gone to, some of the Veterans Day ceremonies and or either spoken or just attended them. And I needed a day to just do fun things. So I took
Yeah.
full advantage of it. It was great, man.
It's good.
And I'm taking back 7 Dungeness crabs, which for snaring is pretty good. So I was able
How
to
many
share those.
meals is that? Like, are they big, like a meal per crab, or how does that work?
Yeah, I think most people aren't eating more than one crab.
I
Some
mean,
people
how
are
big
just
are
eating
they?
um, about 6 inches wide,
Okay.
and the ones you can keep some monster claws and legs, so you can
Perfect.
get a lot of meat. Very filling.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, dude. It was, I don't know. I did that workshop, and then like this semester I'm overloaded with stuff. So I just worked and then drank a little bit and then yeah, watched some moto videos, and that's about it.
Yeah.
On
Hey,
Veterans Day, I don't think I did anything. I just worked.
you were saying you were watching some like Operation Phantom Fury videos too.
Yeah, there were some Phantom Fury videos up there. There was, I found a documentary that I'd never like heard of before. This was a different one, not Phantom Fury, but it was called like, I want to say Virgin Soldiers or something like that. And
Huh.
it was like a documentary that I don't know how I didn't hear of it before. It's up on YouTube in full, but it
Yeah.
follows a unit like through the invasion.
Oh wow.
And like, yeah, there was a bunch of stuff up there that I didn't know was up there. I guess I haven't been looking. So
Yeah.
usually if I'm looking up Marine Corps stuff on YouTube, it's usually stupid video camp videos of like drill instructors making people cry because I find
Oh,
it funny.
those are the best. Those are my favorite.
They're just funny. And like, I don't know, man. If you have you showed them to anyone who's outside of the military sphere of influence, like,
I showed them to some family members, and they're just confused as to why I'm laughing when this is going
that's
on.
yeah, like one, I think the first time I showed my wife one, she was kind of like wanted to cry for them. She's
Yeah,
like, oh my
yeah,
God. And it's just like, it's hilarious. You've never seen that before? I don't know.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, Phantom Fury, there's some rough shit up there. Um, yeah,
yeah.
dude, it was
Rough month that time. That's why, like, I mean, I try to take a break from posting. Like on social media, I'll post, like the guys in our unit who were killed, during the different days. But I used to do every single one, and now I've stepped back from that a little bit, which it's one of those things you got to find balance between honoring the dead and then taking care of your own mental health, because it's easy to get sucked into the doom and gloom scenario, or always mourning, always serious. So
mhm.
hence why I took a break from that a lot, just to scale that back, and took a break from doing serious Veterans Day stuff and had a fun, carefree one.
Have you ever heard that joke? It's like, how many veterans does it take to screw in a light bulb?
No, how many?
You wouldn't know, man. You weren't there.
That's pretty good.
That's what that reminded me of.
Yeah, yeah.
Heard that one from a fellow Iraq guy, but yeah, dude, that's we didn't. I mean, I only knew a few guys who actually died in combat. I think I knew more guys who, died from doing. We won't call it dumb stuff, but accidents and stuff stateside.
Uh-huh.
Like
Yeah.
in the in my occupational field, that was happened a lot,
Yeah.
but like it wasn't. I mean, we weren't like you guys like in the shit. So even when we did have guys, like I knew guys who were in Fallujah from my unit, but they were like on the outskirts.
I see. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can do that shit. The effective range is a lot further.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of
So,
sense.
but yeah, Veterans Day. It seemed like there was a lot of drinking going on, just judging by the posts that I saw from people.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah. I
try
think
to go ahead. Sorry.
I think the pandemic has kind of magnified that too. Maybe it's not like the beginning of the pandemic where everyone was just getting shit housed all the time to deal with it.
Mhm.
But I'd say it's uptake. It looks like it's more than pre-pandemic years. Yeah.
I think you're right. And I think, and this, I guess we can kind of segue because we were talking about this before. But
Uh-huh.
so, like, I took September off drinking, the whole thing, because they don't have sober October because, like, in Estonian, sober actually means friend, super. So they have like, I don't know, the translation is literally a September without alcohol is their
Yeah.
like campaign. Well, and I did that and then made up for it, more than made up for it in October. Like so I decided I'm going to do at least 3 months, maybe four, probably four, at least 12 weeks and see what impact I have. If I'm sleeping better, feeling better,
Yeah.
see if I can get my blood pressure under control, start training again.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's like complete, like I'm not completely useless because I quit smoking earlier this year and just kept it off. You know what I mean? It's not like I
Yeah.
haven't wanted to go back. So that's one positive step. But I haven't been training, haven't really been meditating. And the boozing, it's not even, I don't know, man. And maybe I'm gonna talk for myself right now, I guess, and I'm sure maybe someone will see themselves in it, whatever. But like when we like even I remember back when you were drinking, like when we were at that hotel in Austin,
Oh yeah.
right? Like we partied and had a great fucking time, right? And that was fun. And then like the Cal uh barbecues and stuff, it was fun, but there
Uh-huh.
was an element of like a little bit out of control
Yeah.
with it, right? What I've been doing here is it's it's almost like a minimum effective dosage, but of alcohol, which is kind of it's not a good habit to get into because like number one, using it to cope, to just like, oh, it was a shitty day at work, like very
Uh-huh.
stressful. Like, okay, let's go drink. And then it's not like I'm going and grabbing like a big bottle of whiskey and then chugging the whole thing down or like
Right. Right.
shots, shots, shots. It's nothing out of like Animal House. It's like, okay, I'm gonna make sure that I buy this 200 milliliter bottle of whiskey, not the 500, so I don't
Yeah.
get out of control. And then like get hit this effective dose. But it's like, well, I'm married and I have a kid. So that means I'm drinking alone while playing fucking Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Cause again, plague ancient Greece, right?
Yeah.
And I was just thinking to myself, like, what benefit do you get other than just kind of calming down this like the spinning in the head? You know what I mean? And there's nothing. So
Yeah.
I decided to just cut it for a while.
That's it. It's a tough decision to make because I know like drinking, it's fun at first. It's definitely fun, and then there's this rebound um effect where after the fun part comes like the depressed part,
Mhm.
since it's a depressant, ultimately.
Yeah. And even if you're not like, for me, I want to, I don't know. I said I
Mhm.
wouldn't get into this, but I guess I am. But I'm reading this book or listening to it called um, Sober Curious.
Interesting.
There's a bunch of, it's like a new movement now. And it's not really, It's like AA without the guilt and without the higher power thing.
Okay.
Really
Yeah.
is what it is. Like it's just, and you don't call it like it says, remember your last drunk. And I guess you would not call it a relapse because you're not 100% all the time abstaining, but you think of yourself primarily as a sober person. And it doesn't have all like the guilt and these cigarettes and coffee associated with AA.
Yeah.
That one I like. I like that idea better. I'm not really, I don't know, man. Maybe I just don't have the courage to go to meetings or whatever, but I can cut it. Like my dad quit drinking, my grandpa quit drinking, and they just did it themselves. And I've
Yeah.
done it for a year before, did it for a month in September.
So it's
I'll be
whatever
fine.
works, man, is my
Yeah.
idea. If it
Okay.
works,
That's
then
a
it
nice way
works.
to, because
Yeah.
I've talked to people and they mean the best, but they're like, I was like, hey man, so like when did you know that you needed to go sober and quit drugs, And the guy's like, if you need to ask, it means you need to quit. Like you need to go to
Yeah.
AA. And I'm like, fucking
There's some definitely evangelists for it. And like, I get that it is helpful for a lot of people. And if it is, by all means, keep going, but I'm a fan of like what works, and just like diet's pretty individual for people, I believe this is too. I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works, it works. Awesome.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, I'll quit the boozing. And
mm,
if I get to a point where I feel like I'm really struggling with it, then I'll do the old stick. I don't know if you're a fan of Tim Ferriss, but like the
mhm.
one that helped me quit for like 4 months before I ran that half marathon was like I did this thing where you write a check that's large enough to hurt
Yeah.
to something you hate and
Yeah,
then
exactly.
give it to a friend who will send it. Yeah. So that one, but I don't think that'll be a problem. I'll be all right. But just the general kind of like now without the booze, gotta then start working on the diet and continue moving forward instead of like fighting one addiction at a time. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Yeah. The way I've gone about that, even though I have abstained from alcohol and drugs for 9.5 years now, I find new novel things to do. I'm not dropping triathlon. I'm not dropping it at all. I still love it, but adding some new hobbies. So it's not just like the one thing I go to, because it is easy to get wrapped up in that. And then when it doesn't have the same effects or you change a little bit, you're not totally stuck. Or if there's an off season, you have something else to do. So recently I took up, I just started duck hunting. Did that for the first time this weekend, man. I know I sent you
That's
a couple
cool.
of
Yeah.
pictures.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Successful first time. I didn't realize it was your first time.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
It was pretty,
Did you
pretty amazing.
use a shotgun, right?
Uh-huh.
12 gauge?
12 gauge shotgun. Yeah.
What kind of shotgun? I'm curious.
I used a Browning.
Was it pump or
No, semi.
semi? Nice.
Yeah. So you can get off a couple rounds pretty quick if you need to.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
So the shooting was cool. And also just being out in the marsh and watching these like huge flocks of geese fly over and, hear all the sounds of just the wetlands and the marsh in the Central Valley. Really cool experience.
That is cool. I've never thought about it in that. Duck hunting in Minnesota is different.
Yeah.
Like you got to be in a boat or else you'll freeze. I don't know. My uncle's big duck hunter. I'm never was, but
Yeah.
it's that's cool. Are you gonna do it again?
Oh, definitely. I'm
Definitely.
going in a couple of weeks, actually. The way it works in California is that you put in for a lottery to get a draw to go hunting on a specific day. So there's nothing that's guaranteed. You just
Oh wow.
buy basically a lottery ticket, for different refuges around the state and hope that you get picked. So I got picked for one, right in the Bay Area, Grizzly Island. So it's right
Oh,
in
that's cool.
just by Suisun City and Fairfield. So I'll be trying that out again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. There's another vet in my neighbor who got me into it. So It's fun. I think it's one of those things you need to go with someone who knows what they're doing first.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, let me go deer hunting without without having anyone to guide me. That would be
Kind of watching
great.
YouTube videos as you're trying to stalk a deer.
I think I aim this way.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. That's pretty cool though, man. That I like that idea of picking up new hobbies. And like, how do you feel? I mean, are there any hobbies that you've quit, and do you feel bad about quitting them?
Um, I guess if you can consider CrossFit a hobby, I don't know. You throw that into the kind of like the working out, maybe just different flavors of it. Hobbies
Yeah.
I've quit. Playing music. Yeah, I haven't played music in years. That used to be a big part of my life.
And that was
Um,
like, what was your instrument again? Trump?
saxophone.
Saxophone.
Yeah,
You
but
don't, do you miss it?
I do. But it's one of those things. It's like when you have kids, there's like one, maybe two cool things you can do, you know, and then the rest of it is like, responsibilities as a parent.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see like me. I'll go back to it, a little later, I'm sure. Um, right now it's triathlon and hunting and fishing.
Hey, that works, man. That
Yeah,
works.
exactly.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of, I don't know, like it, I have a weird kind of schedule right now because it's with this pandemic, like I'm available Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 or whatever, but I
Yeah.
work outside of those hours usually, depending on which one of us is watching the kid and when is. It just seems like even on weekends, there's never. This is probably not a good thing, but it just seems like I'm constantly doing something on weekends for work
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like I wasn't able to dedicate enough time or something during the week. I don't know. I'll be glad when this PhD is done. That's all I can say.
Yeah. How much more do you have to go, you think?
Um, all right, so I'm in the second year. So technically, I have 2.5 years left before I'm done.
I see.
But I think, I mean, knock on wood, right? I think I should be able to finish early, um,
Nice.
or at least knock out all the classes. And then, and this is another reason I'm kind of looking at trying to get my health in order while I'm busy now. It's like, I have a pretty audacious goal for what I want to do when I get back, which is start a company that does kind of the type of stuff I'm studying out here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be a very busy life. So I need to be able to manage myself in a life like that. So the goal would be kind of to finish, get class complete, and then hopefully go back and start selling or something.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Start
Yeah.
like actually doing it and then pave the way for the wife and kid to come or be traveling back and forth somehow. Because it would,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that would be the life, right? But we'll see what happens. But that's the goal.
Yeah. Right on.
So yeah, in this semester, I don't know, man. There's like 60 ECTS or like 60 units that you have to get, and I think I'm taking like 36 like this semester.
Wow.
So
It's a lot.
yeah, but I'll get through it.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, man? You have any hobbies that you've dropped that you feel bad about, or anything that you used to do that you're glad you gave up?
Yeah, I miss like training for something. I mean, we talked about that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I feel bad about that because there was a time like even last year in the cold winter, like we had the kid in his like little bassinet on the stroller. Like we have one
Uh-huh.
of these big Nordic strollers that you can swap out a bassinet or like the main stroller. And I was running like through the snow with like these cleats on the bottom of my shoes in like 16 layers, and my wife would be walking him, and I would just make loops, kind of like when you had someone who was slow
Yeah,
drop out of the
exactly.
platoon. Like, and it worked, man. It was all right until I overtrained. So I miss that. I miss writing, you know.
Yeah.
I don't miss some of the like when I was at, I don't know, when I was in Alameda, I tried to pick up like inline hockey,
Oh, wow.
and that was a bad idea. It's just a bad idea.
Pretty physical, and
I
that's a
don't
gear
miss that.
intensive sport.
It was very gear intensive, and I think I bought all the gear and used it like once.
Yeah.
And then I thought that was when I was having neck problems, and I was like, "Oh, it's rollerblading, man. It's like not going to be a big deal. It won't hurt my neck. I'm not like bouncing." And then like I went in for a goal, took a shot, didn't get it, of course, and then like looped around. And the guy who was defending me also looped around. And like I looked up in time just to like helmet to helmet.
Oh,
And that was like the end of it,
yeah.
you know. Uh
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I see you there, man.
I don't miss that. It was fun, but
that sounds like my boxing career that lasted a semester basically at Cal.
that was a cool program, right? But you
Pretty
actually
cool.
fought somebody?
Yeah, dude. It was hard. I mean, boxing's not easy, obviously, but the average Cal student was, on the smaller side,
Mm-hmm.
so they had like weight classes going up to like, I think 170 or 165, something like that. And then after that, it was just like, and the big guys. And so I fought the guys that were usually bigger than me. I got the shit whipped out of me, man. Got concussed, everything, punch drunk. So I was like,
Wow.
you know what? The head trauma I've taken from Iraq and getting knocked out from RPGs and getting fragged and stuff. I think boxing is not my sport, and so I don't.
Probably good call.
I'm good. I'm good without it. The training was cool, but I don't miss it. I also don't miss video games, thankfully, because I got rid of that actually before I stopped drinking because I knew for me it was just that's all I would do, and I'd stay up late and stuff. So like for me, getting rid of it was a good idea.
Yeah, I probably should do the same with that. But again, we'll work, especially because I
Yeah,
have a PS5. I want to get my use out of that shit before I
exactly.
try and flip it. But yeah. Oh, jujitsu. I really miss jujitsu actually.
Yeah.
Which once this pandemic's over, I think I'll go back to it and stand up. But like, stand up writing and jujitsu. Jujitsu I kind of lumped under like fitness hobbies.
Uh-huh.
And then writing and stand up is like, artistic outlets. And right
Yeah.
now I'm having to write so many academic articles that I don't know, maybe it would feel good to like sit down and try and write some weird story. But I don't know, man. I just not feeling the need. Like I'm just at the end of the day, I'm so mentally tapped,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, who knows? I don't know. I mean, I will eventually pick it up again, but asking yourself for 1,000 words a day on top of everything else is tough.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
So I don't know. I mean, I'll get there. It's just small steps first, right? Get the
Yeah.
health in order, start moving again. Um, yeah, and I'll do stand up again. Stand up and jujitsu. Like, I really don't want to bring COVID home to my kid. I just
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. Agreed.
And yeah, those are close things, and can't do it. It's just too much risk.
Yeah.
It's like risky enough to ask people to come over for his birthday party and crap. It's like, dude. So we keep all of our gatherings like really short. We're not going home for Christmas. Flying to the States.
Uh-huh.
So if I have to sacrifice stand up in jujitsu, I can do that until the numbers drop at least.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah. The pandemic has definitely made it hard to do some things. And in some ways it's made it easier to do outdoor hobbies if you live in a place that supports that. I mean, uh, hunting, fishing, hiking, things like that, I know have really taken off, at least out here.
Yeah, we have a membership to the zoo that's not too far away. And that's kind of where we go to like do our little outdoor stuff. We have like a small park nearby that you can kind of walk through, and you get a little bit of the feeling of being in the woods. Like
Uh-huh.
you smell the woods.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah, but I don't have a car out here, so I have to study for and take like the practical and the theoretical driving tests.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So my plan is to get that done by March, and then I'm hoping that. Oh, here's another thing. So out here, they not only have Lyme disease, which one of my coworkers got
Oh.
from a tick, which their ticks out here that have them, you can't easily identify them like deer ticks.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So if you get bit, you just might be screwed. But then they also have tick-based encephalitis or tick-borne
Oh.
encephalitis or something. And so I got the first 2 vaccinations against that. And then my kid, though, he can only start getting vaccinated like, well, now that he's a year old, but they said wait till March to get him the first one, and then we'll get a second shot, and then we'll be able to go camping. So if I get my driver's license here around March, like study for their exam and everything, then we should be able to go camping, and I'm excited for that. But, March is a long ways away. It's just,
yeah, especially with a big winter ahead of you.
Yeah, but we'll be all right, man. Like my plan is there's not that many hills out here, but there are hills.
Yeah.
And like I used to walk him on long walks. On Saturday, we would go past this area where they have ski jumps and stuff.
Oh,
and
cool.
I noticed like it's a small hill, like a bunny hill, but it has that rope, where you can kind of like tow you back up. Yeah. And so we'll go inner tubing there, and that's he's cool. One now. We got his little, they call it a combination here, a little snowsuit,
Okay.
And so I'm excited for that part of the winter, like that Christmas, to get him, like I'm going to get him a little, like a bike without the pedals, where they kind of just
a little bounce bike. Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for all that stuff, and then excited to be done with the semester and have my literature review out the way. I don't know. Yeah. Did you have to write a thesis when you were in your master's?
What did I do? I kind of blocked that out of my memory.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. That's all. You don't need to answer, bro. I just that it sucks. It's right on. Yeah. I think going up the Reaper for the first time was more fun than a lit review.
Yeah, every Marine, at least on the West Coast, knows about the Reaper.
Yeah. But what was it? Out of the guys, I'm curious now. So when you went to the grunts.
Yeah.
And I apologize for my ADD, everybody, but so when you went to the grunts, we talked about this before, you were East Coast MCT, or sorry, ITB. And then you went to like a grunt unit at Lejeune. So like of those guys, how many of them had been at PI and how many were West Coast?
I'd say a majority were Parris Island Marines. And then we had maybe like a quarter were West Coast. So there's the guys that I was in with, there was a contingent of them who came from the West Coast, but it was definitely more East Coast guys. That's for sure.
Okay. It's interesting. Cause like for us, the language school's on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So you get everybody who's East and West Coast go to the language school. And then they eventually decide after your second school, they just kind of spread you far and wide to all the radio battalions. And I got stuck at Lejeune. I really wanted to go to Camp Pendleton, but
so did I at first.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, at least Lejeune had pretty green, like, I don't know, what do you call it? Not foliage. You know what I'm talking about. Just the greenness.
Yeah, exactly. It rained out there.
Yeah. Like if there wasn't the hate of Camp Lejeune, you got to admit, like, it's a beautiful place.
It is a beautiful place especially on the coast, man. I love that. And I ever said like, no plans of moving out of state, but if I ever did, North Carolina would be like one of the top places I'd want to go. Probably the top place.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, I obviously want to go. Like, I miss my family. I've been gone for much longer than I planned on being gone when I enlisted. Because it'll be in June, it'll be 20 years.
Wow.
I planned on being gone for 5.
Yeah.
And that's it. So, but eventually, we'll figure it out. Figure out like, there's other considerations. I'm not a one-man show this, anymore. So
yeah, exactly.
But like, I know my wife would prefer California, and I think I would in some ways.
Yeah. But yeah, it is a place I love, man. It's a place I love. I mean, there's only so many places where you can, like in the winter, go, skiing and surfing in the same day, literally.
Agreed. Yeah, 100%.
I'm fishing on the coast on Thursday and then like duck hunting in the Central Valley on Saturday. So
that's awesome. That's very cool. Yeah. And just I mean, some of the unreal hiking trails out there, I miss them. Like the Mount Diablo hike, like going hiking
Uh-huh.
Point Reyes and stuff. You just can't recreate that. You just can't. I mean, they're so beautiful. Yosemite.
Yosemite, no kidding. Yeah.
Oh, the redwood. Yeah, like the National Redwood Forest or whatever. Amazing.
Yeah, I
So,
agree.
yeah, before you end up with permanent health issues. No. Sorry for hopping around so much, man. My brain is just like that, and I'm
That's
happy to
what
get
this
to
day is,
talk.
man. We're hopping
But
around.
yeah, I think we covered the things that. Oh, here. Well, I have to leave soon, but before, do you have any tips for people who are either looking to start a meditation practice or get back into a meditation practice after a long lull, like
Yeah.
new apps or just anything? What do you got?
I like the Calm app. Actually, the app I like the most, even above Calm, is one called State, and it's very simple, and it counts your breath in and out. So eventually I mean, you're breathing through your nose too. So it's getting you those really deep breaths, and you don't have to do it with eyes closed. You can do it with eyes open, but it really helps to reset your nervous system.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's one for sleep. There's one for energizing yourself. There's one for feeling depressed. Um,
So
so
calm and state.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. I used to use Headspace, and I mean, they were an early mover in the space,
Yeah.
pun intended. But I was also like, once I kind of got back on track after that retreat in the Netherlands and stuff, I kind of stopped using it. So I was paying $13 a month for nothing, and then I just canceled it. And
Yeah.
then since then, it's been kind of hard getting back into it. So
I
I'll
think,
check out these two apps.
yeah, check them out. And then outside of that, man, I'd say just do it for 2 minutes.
Really?
It's like, don't jump back in the same way. Like if you taking a break from working out, don't jump back in at the level you were working out before you stopped. I did that. I did that. So when I got out, I was putting up about 275 on the bench. It was like the highest I got.
Nice.
I felt pretty proud of it. And so, I'm getting out, so I'm working out less. And then I drove across the country with my wife and took a few weeks doing that. And then the first time I got in the gym back home in California, I think I put close to 275 on the bench there. No spotter. And then also no cuffs on the end, no collars on the end of the weights. Oh yeah. So like I was like, here we go. Nope. And it started dropping on me. So I dumped one half of the plates and immediately dumped the other half of the plates and then fell forward into the mirror and hit it so loud. I thought it was going to shatter.
Oh,
And yeah, it was one of those things where I like looked around and had to say like, I'm okay. But
sorry.
yeah,
Damn.
slightly
Yeah,
embarrassing, slightly embarrassing.
it's I've felt that way before. I don't think I have dropped plates, but it was probably like one,
Yeah.
and it was just like maybe one in like 185 shot,
Yeah. More
45
or
and
less,
25 point.
moral of the story, just start out light.
Okay.
Get back in the groove, do it consistently, do 2 minutes a day for a little while, and then work up to 5, then 10. You know,
That sounds good.
yeah.
Someone told me the same about writing. Like, don't, because, you know, at one point I was doing 2000 a day. And when I finished that last fiction book, and someone was just like, dude, if you're getting back into it, you got to kind of cut that word count, go to like 250 words a day or something, and allow yourself to go past it if you're still feeling it. I
Uh-huh.
don't know. Yeah, I think that's probably, I'm going to be looking at that. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, I mean, we'll be checking in and I'll be able to tell you how shit's going. So,
Sounds good, man.
all right. Well, hey,
Well,
thanks
yeah,
for,
good to talk to you, man.
yeah, good to
Good to
talk
talk
to
to you.
you.
Hope
And I
our
hope people find this useful.
exactly.
I
Exactly.
know a
Yeah.
lot of folks are going through the same stuff. So,
Yeah. Then
yeah.
we're fully into the winter now. So yeah, find some ways to get some sunlight on your body, some time to ways to spend with other people and ways to move your body a little bit. So
Right
till
on.
then, man, drink water,
Meditate.
kill
Kill
bodies.
bodies.
right, everyone, that'll do it for this week of Transitions for More. Go ahead and subscribe to the show, follow it. Find us on Facebook, Instagram. You can email me, mike@transitionsformore.com, with any questions or ideas for the show. And please send the show to people you know who might need to listen to it. Leave us a rating and review on iTunes if you get a chance. And just thanks for listening. All right, everyone. See you next week. Bye-bye.